Welcome back to Community Mercenaries. This is episode 3, and if you haven't seen all the previous episodes, there is a playlist on the channel, or you can click the teaser in the top right. The idea of this series is that we come up with our own mercenary tanks as a community, and I'll put them together and discuss them a bit. So if you have any ideas of your own that you'd like to see represented, then leave it down in the comments below, or in the Community Ideas channel in the Discord. We'll start this batch of tanks with a tame one, suggested by Scray in the Discord. Yet again they've mocked it up themselves, which was a great selling point, as I thought it looked really cool. They suggest a setter's hull, an Achilles turret, and the gun of a Centurion 5-1. I'm gonna call it the heel. I didn't like the weird 3 pokey bits from the 5-1's gun on the bore evacuator, so I was gonna change it to the FE4202P's gun, as I knew they were the same gun for the most part. However, the 4202P's gun has a longer reload, so I thought, if it is a tank destroyer, it needs the DPM. Where can I get another British 20-pounder that's exactly the same pen and damage-wise, but much quicker at firing? That's where the stock Charioteer's gun comes in. 5.8 second reload for 230 damage, and it even looks good. This tank would have 370 meters base view range, and a 58 top speed. Its steel concealment would be strong too, but it will have its downsides. For one, its hull can rotate at 42 degrees a second, but its turret would be an abysmal 16 degrees a second. In close-up scenarios, you'll have a bit of wait time for your gun to turn while trying to maintain movement to not get shot. On top of that, this tank will have a very small ammo count. Both the Achilles and Setter hold 50 rounds on their top guns. But they aren't 20-pounder size shells. They are 3-inch and 75mm rounds respectively, meaning that the heel holding bigger rounds would most likely hold less, maybe 35 to 42 rounds. So even though you have that quick DPM, you would have to make your shots count and rely on the team a bit to do a lot of the damage. But hey, you are a half light tank, so passive scouting or even active scouting can work in your favor. Overall, I believe this tank would be a powerhouse and one that many would seek out. Up next, we have a Tier 7 heavy tank that is part of the same batch of images as the obstacle tank that we showed off in episode 1. This one suggests a Tiger 1 hull with an IS-3's top turret but stock gun. We'll just call it the Tiger 3. This one's simple enough, but as it's a top tier 8 turret being brought down to tier 7, I'd call for it to get its unbuffed variant. So instead of its 80mm roof it got a while back, we'll just give it its 20mm roof back. This would allow tanks with gun calibers of 61mm or bigger to overmatch, but it wouldn't be easy to hit as it's on a taller chassis. With that taller chassis, it would be hard to go hull down, but not completely out of the question. This would also add another Tiger variant to the game in an interesting way, the only 122mm Tiger with a strong turret. Speaking of that 122mm, the image specifies the stock gun of the IS-3, which has worse pen than the top variant, obviously, but has a better reload, and bringing it down a tier means that that worse pen won't actually be too bad. 190 base AP, and 247 premium APCR. Wait, this thing gets APCR? Okay, maybe it's a Tiger with less than usual HP to counter this strong gun and turret combo? Or maybe we bring it up to tier 8, but then its hull would be a massive weakness, which it already is when fighting 9s as a 7. Maybe we just give it the top 122mm on the tier 7 IS. 175 standard pen and 217 premium? However this tank is implemented, it is without a doubt a cool looking Tiger variant. Admittedly the odd cousin of the family of Tigers, as it's got a different turret, but it still would add to the collection. Last up, we have a tank in which its tier and class and even mode is unset by me. Suggested by Airwolf on the debut video to this series, he suggested the gun of the beach party on an armadillo's hull. I suppose I get to choose the turret, so I chose one that I thought would look cool, the T-92 light tank's turret. We'll name this one after the creator of the tank, Airwolf. I have no idea where this tank would place, but having a medium tank gun like this makes me want to give it that tank destroyer designation. On top of that, to balance it a little and make up for the fact that it would be front heavy, it's going to have a turret rotation limit of 45 degrees to the left and 45 to the right. In World War II, it would have a view range of 400 meters. But if it's Era 2, it would have the view range of the T-92 at Era 2 in Cold War of 520 meters. The Armadillo chassis would have its speed heavily nerfed to maybe 62 kilometers an hour in World War II, but again, if it is a Cold War tank, it would keep its 82 kilometer an hour top speed. The gun would need changing for Cold War II obviously, but I can't really say how this tank would perform, as we don't know where it would even be, but you cannot deny that it would be strong either way. It would be a very stealthy tank, and it has good space side armor. It's got a unique style, and I'm interested to see if we'll ever get anything of the sort. It's only a matter of time till we get Cold War Mercenaries. And that's all I have for you guys in this installment. I hope to see more suggestions from you guys and really enjoy putting these together. It continues to amaze me how cool these tanks end up looking, and I hope you've enjoyed thus far. But before I let you go, I must thank you. If you haven't heard yet, I am now a community contributor for World of Tanks console, a long-term goal that I have now achieved thanks to you. Whether you're new around here, or you've been around over on Twitch for a while, you guys have made it possible for me to reach that goal. Already we have a new goal though, one that was there before but now pushed to the front. That is to get partnered on YouTube. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing. No need for notifications or anything, but by subscribing you get us one step closer to our next goal. Expect more videos from me, and bigger ones. This is just the beginning of our journey on YouTube. Thank you again for being a part of it, and I'll see you for more community-made mercenary tanks soon.